Hi there, welcome to Humans of Authenticity, and thank you for choosing my podcast. My name is Vili, and I'll be your host. I'm a Vietnamese Australian living in the US, so you'll hear a lot of different accents in my podcast series. Designed as a blank canvas to weave together a rich tapestry of human experiences and identity, Humans of Authenticity will share many heartfelt conversations with my guests on their stories and how they embrace their authenticity in all forms. And we'll hold firm to who we are. We will be celebrated and liberated. However, the journey towards expressing ourselves authentically often encounters various obstacles. I wonder why. Authenticity will be a buzzword unless we pause and reflect on what it means for us, for individuals like you and me. Join me in these conversations, peel back all the layers and see how authenticity shines through. In each episode, my guests will choose a keyword from a selection of 12, which will be used as the theme of the conversation. These keywords change frequently, so you will only hear the same keyword once. Enjoy the episode today. So, Samyuktha, thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's start with your story. I'd love to know where you are now and how did you get to this point today?
Sure. Thank you, V. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear my story, to interview me. I really enjoy being on the class of 2023, 2025 with you, and I'm really excited to share my story and to hear your story as well. So to start off my story, it's definitely a story to be shared because there's a lot of things in my life that have happened that I've overcome to get to the place where I'm at. Currently, right now, I am working for the American Association of Nurse Anesthesiology. That is a nonprofit membership association for nurses, a certified registered nurse anesthetists. And there are 50,000 CRNA members, and we provide services and benefits to the CRNAs. I specifically work in the State Management Affairs Department. I am the State Association's Relations Manager at Level 2. In the department, I provide consulting services and support to the state associations. And I also the project manager for the ANASN Leadership Development Program, which is the organizational-wide development leadership program for CRNAs to build their leadership skills and become leaders in their clinical practice environment, as well as their leadership volunteer roles. I've been at the association for almost 4 years in December, and I live in the Chicago area. How I got here, I can only say that I never expected to be in the association industry. I always like to call it a happy accident because for the longest time I thought I was going to be in healthcare, like a hospital. I was always interested in hospital management, hospital administration, and that's how I got my master's of public health. And I was also interested in science and finding a cure for a disease. And then I realized lab work wasn't good for me because it was just very lonely. It was very isolating. And I realized that I'm more of a people person than I thought. So even when I started working in the hospital, it still didn't feel right for me. I ended up in associations almost 8 years ago, and it's been the best time. Like I definitely feel like it's my calling, and especially I have a niche for healthcare association. In my last job, I worked for Doctors of Osteopathic Medicine at the American Osteopathic Association. I also have a bachelor's in biology from the University of Illinois, and another characteristic of myself is that I have dwarfism, which is a physical disability that results in short stature for adults. And it's a genetic condition that results in delayed bone growth and bone development. My bones don't grow as fast as average sized people. And I have a achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism. Society has definitely put a lot of barriers for me in terms of access and attitudes for a person like me. And it's been hard because I had to really show that I deserve to be seen, that I deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, even though I am short, even though I have dwarfism, even though I don't look the same as a regular average sized person. But I am still a human being. I deserve the same opportunities as everyone else, and I deserve to be a contributing member of society. So, on top of that, I am an immigrant from India. I was born in India, and I emigrated here when I was just a year old to the US. I've grown up in Chicago for all of my life, but I'm very proud of my Indian roots and my Indian culture. It has definitely helped me really shape my identity. And it has definitely also been a source of refuge, especially I'm a practicing Hindu, the religion, that hope I have for the universe and how they align for the best of the humanity and for creation. It has definitely helped me push through the hard days. And so I'm very proud of who I am and what I've accomplished so far.
That's really cool. I do have two questions coming out from that stories.
Yes.
With the easier one first. I noticed that you mentioned ending up in association is a happy accident. I'd love to hear a bit about that. What about the work in association or the association industry in general that excites you and keep you in this industry until today?
Yes. What excites me is that we're helping people. We may not directly be in the field, especially in healthcare, supporting healthcare professionals like doctors, nurses, physician assistants, different healthcare professionals. We may not necessarily be in the practice environment or in the actual field providing services, but we're supporting them so they could do their job better, so that they could provide the best care for their patients. And so far in my experience, the members have been just so appreciative of the work that we do. And they're such very nice people. They really care about their profession and they really care about helping patients. And so that's, I feel like, where the impact is being made. I feel like we're indirectly contributing to the better patient care and to just the greater good of society.
I like that about the association industry too.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can see through the impacts, especially when we take a step back and have that helicopter view of our work and how we fit in, not only with our association, but also the society and that industry sector as a whole. I really respect that. You mentioned a lot of elements about bias and judgment. The second follow-up question I have about your stories is, how do you work your way around all of that? Especially, how can you navigate all of the bias and judgment, not only in your personal life, but also in your professional career as well?
Yeah. So, especially in my professional life, I feel like I have to work twice as hard as the average person to be seen, to show that I am capable. Usually, what I would do, I would take initiative on a lot of things. I would be the first to volunteer to help with projects, to help in other areas. I would really try my hardest to get the projects done early rather than by deadline. I'm already standing out, but I feel like if I stand out this way, or if I really prove to other people, I felt like I had to prove to a lot of people that I'm capable by working twice as hard, by showing, participating, contributing extra, like doing what they call the bonus work, extra work, even taking on additional work if I had to show my capabilities and to show that I deserve to be treated the same way. There's nothing I lack or I can't do in this area. Personally, growing up, my mom, she's my biggest advocate. My sisters are my biggest advocates. I'm the oldest of 5 daughters. And my mom, she's a single mom, and she's the one who raised all of us to be the best human beings we can, to be kind and to fight for injustice and to make an impact. And so growing up, to overcome bias, to overcome judgment, I almost had to put certain aspects of my identity aside so I could be accepted for who I am. I felt that sometimes my Indian identity, because that's another layer of people that have to accept being a disabled woman of color, there were times where I would put my Indian identity aside. Like they would call me, I would be okay if people called me Sam. I would be okay if people called me Sammy, even. So that was not another layer to, or a barrier for them to accept, because so they could just accept me for my dwarfism. And I've always been considered a people pleaser. So I would really go head over heels for people to like me, to be their friend. So I would really listen to what they wanted. I would really show that I was their friend and that I could have fun with them. I could play, I could do the things that they did so I could be included. As far as overcoming other bias, judgment, it was my family. It was my mom and my sisters that would have to educate that she is a person, that she's different, but she's also a person, and that she loves these things. She enjoys these things, that she has a big heart. She's a sweet girl. So she deserves to be a part of.
I'm curious, when you're using all of those tactics to navigate your ways around the biases, do you think that you are still your authentic self during that process?
Now I feel like I am, because I'm an adult now. I feel very established in who I am as a person. I feel very unapologetic about who I am as a person. So I feel like I'm able to express myself authentically. I'm able to be my full authentic self now and still raise awareness and educate and call out microaggressions or call out harassment, racist, ableist, inappropriate behavior. And I don't have to feel like I have to mask, or I don't have to feel like I have to be somebody else to do that now. Before it's hard. It's hard to advocate for yourself. And it's sad because people don't take you seriously. That's what it is. When I was growing up, even speaking out for myself, even saying things, hey, don't say that to me, don't call me that, don't do that, they wouldn't take me seriously. Even I realized, like, when I would say something that I felt was valuable to a conversation, they wouldn't take me seriously. They would be surprised that I said something, or they would just ignore me. So it's disheartening. It was disheartening. I never felt like I had to fake it, because I can't. It's hard for me to not be real, you know? But I feel like I had to really sometimes overcompensate to do that. And that wasn't being authentic.
So what was the trigger, or is there any particular incidents that helped you realize you have to change?
Good question. To be honest, a lot of my childhood is so blurry. I don't remember a lot of it because my family and I, we were in survival mode. I'll be honest with you. My dad was an abusive husband and father, and he caused a lot of pain and trauma to my mom and my sisters and me, especially my mom, because she was married to him. We had to endure that for over 20 years. So we were in survival mode, basically. It was hard for me to be present to my childhood. And at the same time, for me, being a little person, I just remembered wearing blinders because I had to block out what was happening in my family, but I also had to block out what was happening in the outside world, because in the outside world, I was facing ignorance, barriers, negative attitudes. So those blinders, I just needed to survive and get to where I was going. And so to answer your question, as far as like specific triggers or specific incidents, I think as I grew, I learned that I needed to take those blinders off, because by not being present, by trying to ignore all of the noise in the outside world, I was also not being present with my family. I needed to take those blinders off so I could be there and be a support and realize, what is really important to me. But and at the same time, I was able to still be in myself, be true to myself, and still raise awareness, still educate, and still combat, fight, and still remove barriers. And that's how I learned to be present, to be fully manifested in myself. I would always try to shoot for the stars, in the sense I always wanted to be like a president of a board, or I wanted to be on the leadership of a volunteer board. So I've had my downs with that, in the sense no one would vote for me. Like, I didn't get enough votes. As much as I knew I would be an asset, I would really do good things for a board or for a council or for a student organization, it was hard to get votes because people didn't think I could do it. People didn't think I was capable. I was always down on myself because I was like, what do I lack? What is it? Forget the fact that I have dwarfism. But like, what else? I was always like, is there something wrong with me? Do I need additional training or development? But then I guess later on, as I grow and learned and navigated all these things, I realized there is nothing wrong with me. There is, it's them. It's not them, but it's like they're just ignorant. They don't know any better.
Thank you for that, Samyuktha.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move to the next segue, I want to share with you two things.
Yeah.
The first thing, whenever we talk about being our authentic self, know that when you stop holding back who you are, then you will be celebrated. And I think Atlanta was a great demonstration of that. I think for yourself and for any of us in the program.
I agree.
And the second thing is, whenever you start doubting yourself, hopefully not soon, remember these conversations, because I think that's the exact motivation for you to keep forging ahead. You've overcome so much with all of that motivation. So there shouldn't be anything else that stop you from moving on from this point.
Yeah.
So I hope that's useful.
Thank
Now
you.
let's go to the next segue, which is perfect timing now. I gave you 12 keywords to choose from when we thinking about human of authenticity. Which word did you select? And I'd love to know why you select that word.
I selected the word brave because all my life I felt like I had to be perfect, or that I had to succeed, that I had to achieve, that I have to meet certain standards to be seen. This is part of the Indian culture too. The Indian culture, a lot of Asian cultures, they are rooted in you have to do these things to be successful. There's a lot of cultural pressure and societal pressure. And at the same time, the attitude about disability, you're seen as a burden. You're seen as, okay, you're not going to amount to anything in life, right? But brave is who I am because I push through all of that. I show that by being brave, I raise awareness about dwarfism. I raise awareness about differences and disabilities. I show the world that this is who I am. This is all of me. I deserve to be seen. I deserve to be heard. Being brave for me is proving to them that I don't fit in the box that you've built for me, that you think that I should fit in, that you think I should belong in. Being brave is saying no, that I will do this, I will achieve this. Being brave is saying I can, I deserve to be in this space, I deserve this opportunity. Being brave is surviving and making those hard decisions to cut off relationships and cut off people, family members that don't serve you, that are a danger to you. Being brave is going out of that box, going out of that mold that people think that you fit in. And being brave is being authentic. Being brave is fully expressing yourself. because it's hard, especially like I said, when there's these societal expectations of you to be a certain way, to act a certain way, or to achieve only so much. Being brave is combating that and just saying, no, I don't conform to this.
That's really cool. Very brave. You mentioned being seen quite a few times. Can you describe for me how does being seen look like for you?
Being seen is someone seeing me for who I am. A lot of times, just even in spaces physically, I was actually talking to my mom about this yesterday, where even people don't see me. They physically don't. It's one thing because obviously with the height difference, sure, it's by accident. They may not see, like, but even in spaces, like if we're in a group of people, if we're networking, if we're meeting people, they don't, like, I'm not acknowledged. I'm not introduced. It's sad. It's pretty sad because sometimes I gaslight myself when I'm thinking, oh, maybe they actually physically didn't see me. But no, the eye contact was made. I am right there. You can't miss me. But they don't acknowledge me, or they don't talk to me, or they don't realize I'm there. So that is the part of being seen. Because I'm Indian and because I'm disabled, I'll be frank with you when I say it's real when people of color say, yeah, white people don't see us. We face that oppression, but they actually don't physically see us. And I experienced that twofold because of my dwarfism too. So that's in the physical aspect, but the being seen, that kind of folds into the being seen aspect as far as being treated with respect, being treated with dignity, and knowing that I have something valuable to contribute. And being seen is being included. Being seen is taking me seriously.
I'm curious again, in your experience, have you experienced being seen?
Yes,
Can
I
you
have.
describe that experience for me?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I know it's cliche to say, like, my friends see me. Like, for a long time, I felt like my friends were just obligated to be friends with me. Like, they were just obligated because they had no choice but to be friends with me, or their parents would say, oh, be nice to her. Oh, be friends with her. She doesn't have any friends, kind of thing. So I always felt like guilty if they were my friends, like being friends with somebody. But later on, I would feel being seen with them when they take that initiative to spend time with me. Like, hey, I want to spend time with you. I know it sounds silly, but I felt, growing up, I felt seen that way. I felt seen when my friends would be like, hey, I want to hang out with Samyuktha. I want to spend time with Samyuktha. I want to go over to her house, being invited to birthday parties and things like that. In Delp, I feel seen. I really do. Like you said, this is definitely a place I can be authentic and express myself. Like, it's still new, it's still fresh, very new to be a part of and to explore and navigate as far as meeting, making networks, making connections, and understanding how to leverage them and build that system within Delp. I feel seen with my cohort. I feel seen at work. I feel very valued there. I've been really elevating them in the sense in my projects and accomplishments, representing them in those areas with DELP, with the CAE, with my speaking engagements. I feel seen with my family, especially my mom. I know I'm a treasure for her, and I know that she sacrificed everything so I could have a productive, long, prosperous life. So, yeah, those are those places.
That's such a beautiful pictures that I hope we can replicate a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the brave things again,
Mm-hmm.
what's the bravest things you have done until today? And that can be either your personal life or your career moves.
That's hard because I feel like everything I'm doing is brave. Just putting myself out there is brave.
Mm.
Just getting up every day, going to work, and just working hard and being there for my family, or just living is brave, especially because it's a sad world. There's still a long way we have to go to fight for equity, fairness, for inclusivity, for acceptance. And so I think living every day is brave, to keep doing what you're doing, even when not every day you see the impact. Sometimes I wonder, what am I doing? What impact am I making? We're still seeing suffering. We're still seeing sadness and despair in the world, but you still keep going. We still keep going despite of that. So we're brave for pushing. We're brave for moving forward. For me personally, the bravest thing I've done, I, I think probably doing sharing my story, being vulnerable. I think being vulnerable is brave for me because I was so scared to be vulnerable. I always thought that being vulnerable was a weakness, to be honest. It's not. It is so not. So I think learning to be vulnerable was a brave thing for me to do.
That's really cool. I think being brave means you are scared of doing something, but you're still pushing on for it.
Yeah, just like, yeah, exactly.
And all your story
Courage.
really reflect that.
Yeah.
I want to get to a reflection question now.
Mm-hmm.
So after all of the brave things that you've done and experienced, what have you learned from that?
What have I learned from that? I've learned that I guess it doesn't end there. It's not just like, oh, you're brave one day and that's it. You have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. It's not always going to be butterflies and flowers each day. And I've learned that I can do it. I've learned that I've gotten over the hump, in the sense I've gotten over that hard part of learning to be brave, of learning to be vulnerable, and learning to speak out for myself and call out injustices, and learning not to doubt myself. I'll still have moments where maybe I feel like I'm regressing or I'm doubting, and that's okay. I'm learning that it's not always going to be a linear path. You'll have ebbs and flows. Sometimes you'll feel like you're going back, but it's okay. That's all part of the journey. I've learned that I deserve to be fully expressive and fully authentic. I deserve that I don't need to hold back or adjust or compromise.
What I like about your response to this question, I feel it's really great that you have created a safe pocket so that you can fall back.
Mm-hmm.
A break. I agree. It's never ends here. Life's hard. We still have to keep going. But again, at the same time, it means that we will be tired and it's okay to be tired. And I love hearing that you accept that.
Yes.
Giving yourself a safe space to fall back. We deserve a break.
Yes.
But after that, we will be re-energized. We will keep our positive energies going up. And then we go out and face the world again. I really love that part.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to the end. I have 2 more questions left. The first one, I'd love to know what's next for you. You mentioned earlier in the conversations that you love to be a president of an organization someday. You love to be on the board. Can you share where you're at with that aspiration?
Yeah, my current aspirations right now are to move into an executive leadership role in my career. Right now, I'm a senior manager role, and I'm really hoping in the near future I could move to a director position, whether it's associate director, director, assistant director, either in a healthcare association. I'm so open to staying with chapter relations, component relations, state association relations. I'm also interested in maybe the governance space or membership space that could be a part of it. At the same time, I'm very passionate about DEI. So I don't know if full-time work in DEI is the way for me to go, because I feel like our voices are needed. I've learned in the few conversations I had with DELP, DEI is still not fully accepted everywhere, right? So a full-time role in DEI, as much as rewarding and it can still be very stressful getting the support and implementing the programs and making sure everyone's voices are heard. So I think for me, our voices need to be heard in those executive leadership roles. I'm hoping eventually I want to be maybe a vice president of a department or a chief, like membership engagement, not necessarily CEO, because I always like want to make sure I have someone I'm accountable for, in the sense that I'm accountable to, someone to have my back, someone to be my safety net, if I'm doubting myself. So we'll see what happens. Yes, and like as far as like other roles, I want to keep speaking. I want to keep, hopefully keep getting more speaking engagements for sharing my story, give that disability intersectionality perspective. And yeah, the world's our oyster.
That's really cool. Let's go back to that keyword that you chose.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you can demonstrate bravery in pursuing those aspirations?
I can use bravery by asking for what I deserve. I think it's hard to do that because sometimes I feel like I'm an inconvenience or I'm being a bother, or I would say, oh, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I should slow down. Maybe I should just enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride, and then let it happen naturally. But sometimes I feel like I can't do that. I can't wait. I have to create these opportunities. So being brave is about putting myself out there, taking a risk, and doing what's best for me, even if it's saying goodbye to something that I'm comfortable with or familiar with.
That really speaks volumes again on your bravery. Do keep me posted and let me know if I can assist your progress.
Yes.
The last question, and this is really out of the box thinking.
Mhm.
If you are going to a dream vacation tomorrow, what is the one item that you will take with you and why? And that can be anything.
So, what is one item I take with me on my dream vacation? Oh, that's hard. Let's see. What is one item I would take with me? I can't do it by myself. I don't think I could do it by myself. So I think I would take my mom or a close friend or a sister. It would have to be a loved one with me. I don't want to enjoy it by myself.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is even though we have these amazing opportunities to do the thing that we love, we still go back to our families and the loved one. I think that it really reflects on our values. And again, thank you so much for being really authentic in our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for today's episode. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear your take on the chosen keyword. Have a lovely time and thank you again for spending time with Humans of Authenticity. Until next time.